Welcome, friends. So I'm back for this week's energy guidance. Again, knowing these energies have existed, will exist. It's just calling an awareness to a particular energy. If it resonates, notice if it does, notice if it doesn't. Beautiful information for your own inner knowing to come through as to what it is that you need to focus on. And again, I post these throughout the week so that we can also re-know our idea of what a week is, rather than aligning to a particular concept or idea of what a week is. You can if it serves you, of course. You're always in choice, but having that empowerment of knowing that your particular week may look very different than the standard week. So, I'm going to pull the symbols. I'm going to first attune to them. And the way in which I attuned to the symbols was given to me in channeling, and it is multitoria, multitoria, multitoria. A translation is I, or we, as we're doing this as a collective, we are aware, we are tuned, we are aligned. Okay. What energy or energies might we be mindful of for this particular week in what we refer to as December of 2025? And it is December 8th, the time of filming this. Okay. I feel like there's one more want to come through, potentially. Okay, so I'm going to do two, and then if I feel the nudge, I'm going to pull one more. Okay, so water is the first symbol. I can't. Space. Literally every time I do one of these videos, space comes up. When I pull for myself, it doesn't come up in the same frequency. It is a bigger stone, so yes, one could say that it's more likely to come into my hand, but that feels purposeful. Okay, so water and space. So just briefly, water can mean many, many things. All of these symbols, especially these more nature-based symbols, can mean many things. So water is going with the flow. Water is consciousness, memories, emotions. Water is also a mirror, right? And space can mean outer space, can mean inner space, the space around you, space, creational space, space in which you manifest, space in which you create. So space can mean many, many different things, as can water. So again, notice what resonates for you. I'm going to bring forth some guidance, perhaps one particular viewpoint, perhaps more perspectives. I've been noticing that after I make these videos, I get more and more perspectives coming through. So I'm just going to sit with these for the moment, and I will edit it so there's not a lot of dead space. Interesting, dead space. Okay. First, as I was sitting with water and space, what kept jumping out to me was the word interstitial space, which, if I'm remembering the correct definition of that, the way I interpreted it at least, was the space in between. So that space in between, say, cells, right? So the in between space, that liminal space. And so what I'm hearing now, I'm gonna maybe drop into a channeling and see what wants to come through around this. water between the spaces of that which you see as form. Cells can be seen as a representation of form. And you can break this down into the macro or the micro. But for today, we are looking at it at the cellular perspective because this is purposeful for one's own embodiment. As the tides shift, as the consciousness expands, many people speak of many different things around this time, and how you perceive it is purposeful for you in your journey. So we do not wish to add confusion or to create a sense of perception that limits the way that you actually perceive this time to be. So this is an invitation to take in all of the, so this is noise wants to keep coming through. So I'm filtering that. Yes, we do mean to refer to it as noise, because any noise is outside of your own knowing. Now that is just one perspective. But when you think about the idea of noise, the idea of white noise can actually help one to drop in. So again, an outside noise is not necessarily a distraction or not beneficial. It can be quite beneficial. However, all the different perceptions and perspectives can be seen as noise. Again, beneficial or not beneficial. So as you sift through all of the different perceptions and perspectives that you have adhered to, been in accord to, been in alignment with, as to how you are seeing and feeling this particular time of your collective evolution, our collective evolution, we purposely give time to pause for that recognition that your collective is our collective. It is one collective. Again, your perception and perspective puts it in limitation or allows it to be limitless. There are many, many different avenues in which we could bring this conversation, but we will keep it poignant on the noise and the interstitial space between the cells, because it is this representation of the space between form, the kumbhaka, the space between the inhale, the exhale, the liminal space. That is where the knowings exist. And one must get quiet, which is why we refer to the noise. But again, you can take all of the noise, move into that space of stillness within, that space between the cells, that space between the breath, that space between the noise, between the thoughts, that space in which there is everything and no thing, the I am presence. And it is here in which you will be in accord, be in alignment, be in your knowing of what you know to be true at that particular stage and moment of your own growth and evolution. It will grow and expand as you grow and expand, so do not put a limitation or a finite definition or belief around it. Allow it to be so for the time in which it is, and allow it to grow and expand with the time and the is of it all in which you experience it. Allowing yourself to be both in the form and in the space between. To be in it, not of it. In it with the remembrance of the truth of what is. So we leave you with that. But again, we never leave you. For we are you, you are us. There is only one. And one is put into a context of form. So if you can allow yourself to expound beyond the idea of one, you will step a little bit deeper into the expansiveness and vastness of what is. As we thank you, we hold the space as you thank yourselves and everything and everyone before you, after you, next to you, with you, in you, as you, through you. All beings, all forms, all otherwise. Being in oneness with all. To that we say good day, good morrow, good, bad, otherwise, just simply allowed to be. Okay. It's funny, it didn't feel like it ended, so I believe there's more. But for now, that's the guidance for this week. Okay, thank you. And as always, stay curious, friends.